how long it's going to be, a title, and where the speech is from, as well as the objectives of the speech. So we're going to pay attention to the objectives of the speech tonight to ensure that the speaker is achieving all of her objectives. The speaker tonight is going to be doing speech number 3 from the Competent Communicator manual. Her objectives are to select a speech topic and determine its general and specific purposes, to organize a speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes, to ensure the beginning, the body, and the conclusion reinforce the purposes, to project sincerity and conviction, and control any nervousness that she may feel, and to strive not to use notes. Those are her objectives this evening. Her title is A Bridge Between Europe and Asia, and the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please welcome Rachel Lee.
Can I use this? Even on my tippy toes?
Should I use the page?
Sure I am. No. Yeah, I'll have to use it.
Okay.
Thank you. It's okay. Okay, so Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome. Yes. The Golden Horn in Istanbul, and this is why it's called the Golden Horn. It looks a little bit horn. The gold comes from when the sun hits the water, it looks like gold. It's a natural harbor where Megarian colonist Byzas from Greece established a colony named Byzantium in 667 BC. Byzas had wanted to know where to make his new city, so he consulted with an oracle in Delphi in Greece. She said to settle across from the blind, opposite the blind. He had no idea what that meant until he came upon the Bosphorus, which is this right here. And on this side over here, earlier settlers had chosen to settle here. And he said, well, they're blind, because how could you settle over here when you could have chosen here at the junction of the Bosphorus, this inner harbor, and the Sea of Marmara? But Byzantium later conquered Chalcedon across the Bosphorus on the Asian shore. In 196 CE, the city was besieged by Roman forces and was destroyed. It took 6 years for the Roman Emperor Constantine I to rebuild it. In 330 CE, he declared Byzantium an imperial palace inspired by Rome. After his death, Byzantium was renamed Constantinople, which means the city of Constantine. Constantinople became the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, otherwise known as the Byzantium Empire. Constantinople's strategic location allowed it to control the route between Europe and Asia, as well as the passage from the Mediterranean Sea to the Black Sea. In 1453, the city was conquered by the Ottoman Turks and became the capital of the powerful Ottoman Empire. The city was renamed Istanbul, which to this day is Turkey's the largest and most populous city. One of the most famous rulers in the history of the Eastern Roman Empire was Justinian I, also known as Justinian the Great. He was short, fair-skinned, curly hair, round-faced, and handsome. Justinian became the emperor in August 527. As a ruler, he showed an abundance of energy. He was known as the emperor who never sleeps due to his exceptional work habits. He was amenable and approachable. Coming from a family of lowly and provincial background, he chose to surround himself with men and women with exceptional talents. He chose to put importance on basis of merit rather than aristocratic origin, which was a tradition for thousands of years before him. Around 525, Justinian married Theodora, a courtesan, about 20 years his junior. Theodora was very intelligent, she was street smart, she was a good judge of character, and she was Justinian's greatest supporter. She was very influential in the politics of the empire and possibly the most powerful woman in the Roman Empire's history. Her defining moment came during the Nika riots, which means, Nika meaning to win or conquer. There were two rival political factions, the Blues and the Greens, whose grievances caused a riot to start in January 532 during a chariot race in the Hippodrome. The Hippodrome was the social and sporting center of Constantinople, capable of holding 100,000 spectators. The crowds broke out and wreaked havoc and destruction over the city. The rioters proclaimed a new emperor, Hypatius, the nephew of former emperor Anastasius I. Unable to control the mob, Justinian and his advisors were prepared to flee the city. Theodora, on the other hand, gave an impassioned speech encouraging Justinian and his advisors to rise up and proudly fight against the rioters. She declared, "Those who have worn the crown should never survive its loss. Never will I see the day when I am not saluted as empress." She refused to leave the city, though a clear escape route across the sea was available to them. She is quoted as saying, "Royalty is a fine burial ship." How did they overcome the riots? Basically, Justinian had Narcissus, a popular eunuch, walk into the Hippodrome full of angry mobs and approach the Blues sections. Narcissus reminded them the emperor always supported the Blues over the Greens. Hypatius, the person that they want to crown, is a supporter of the Greens, and he distributed gold among the members. I guess a little bribery couldn't hurt at this point. The Blues conferred with each other and their followers, and in the middle of Hypatius' coronation, they walked out of the Hippodrome, and the Greens sat there stunned. Belisarius and Mundas, their imperial guard, then went into the Hippodrome and massacred the rest of the rebels. Approximately 30,000 rioters died from all of this. Hypatius was executed, some say at Theodora's urging, and Justinian set about rebuilding Constantinople. Once Byzantine, then Constantinople, now Istanbul, one of Turkey's largest and most populous cities. As of December 2010, 13.26 million people reside in this metropolitan area, which is the third largest metropolitan area after London and Moscow. Although the capital of Turkey is Ankara, Istanbul has always been the center of Turkey's economic life and its largest industrial center due to its location at the junction of international land and sea trade routes. Istanbul has always been one of the most important tourism spots for Turkey. It's currently bidding to host the 2020 Summer Olympics. So perhaps the world will have a chance to be delighted with this special city with Eastern and Western characteristics. And maybe we can catch a glimpse of what a city is like if they have the opportunity to be a bridge between